So let's talk about Ridley Scott's intense sci-fi horror flick, Alien. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1979 sci-fi horror flick, Alien. Released by Fox, directed by Ridley Scott, written by Dan O'Bannon, based on a story by O'Bannon and Ronald Shusett. It follows the crew of the commercial space tug Nostromo, who encounters the eponymous alien, an aggressive and deadly extraterrestrial set loose on the ship. The film stars Tom Skerritt, Sigourney Weaver, Veronica Cartwright, Harry Dean Stanton, John Hurt, Ian Holm, and Yaphet Kotto. Yeah. This was a surprise hit, and what have you, and would spin off a lot of, well, maybe not a whole lot, but some pretty darn good movies. Well, maybe not. Well, all of them's not good, and some of it's not. Anyway, this was pretty big, and stuff like that. The film was released in May of '79. The score was done by Jerry Goldsmith, who, of course, was one of my many favorite composers since he had recently done, well, the scores for the first two installments of another 20th Century Fox franchise, that being the Omen series. But, of course, he did scores for other movies as well. This was a box office success, winning the Academy Award for Best Visual Effects, 3 Saturn Awards for Best Sci-Fi Film, Best Direction for Scott, and Best Supporting Actress for Miss Cartwright, and the Hugo Award for Best Dramatic Presentation, along with lots of other nominations. Anyway, and it's considered one of the greatest films of all time. I can agree with that, but for now, let's get on to our story. The commercial space tug Nostromo is returning to Earth with a 7-member crew in stasis. Captain Dallas, Executive Officer Kane, Warrant Officer Ripley, Navigator Lambert, Science Officer Ash, and 2 engineers, Parker and Brett. Detecting a transmission from a nearby moon, the ship's computer, Mother, awakens the crew. Per company policy requiring any potential distress signal be investigated, they land on the moon despite Parker's protests, sustaining damage from its atmosphere and rocky landscape in the process. The engineers stay on board to effect repairs while Dallas, Kane, and Lambert head out to investigate. They discover the signal originates from a derelict alien ship and enter it, losing communication with the tug. Ripley deciphers part of the transmission, determining it to be a warning, but cannot relay this information to those on the derelict ship. Meanwhile, Kane discovers a chamber containing hundreds of large egg-like objects. When he touches one, a creature springs out, breaks through his helmet, and attaches itself to his face. And that, of course, is probably one of the scariest moments you can ever expect from the alien known as the Face Hugger. Dallas and Lambert carry the unconscious Kane back to the Nostromo. As acting senior officer, Ripley refuses to let them aboard, citing quarantine regulations, but Ash overrides her decision and lets them inside. Ash attempts to remove the creature from Kane's face, but stops when he discovers that its blood is an extremely corrosive acid. It later detaches of its own accord and is found dead. The ship is partially repaired, and the crew continue their journey back to Earth. Kane awakens with some memory loss, but seems to be otherwise unharmed. During a final crew meal before return to stasis, he suddenly chokes and convulses as a small alien creature bursts from Kane's chest. That, of course, is the chest burster, as I believe some call him, killing him. and it escapes into the ship with Ash, dissuading the rest from killing it. The crew attempts to locate the creature with tracking devices and capture it with nets, electric prods, and flamethrowers. Brett follows the crew's cat, Jones, into a landing leg compartment where the now fully grown alien attacks Brett and disappears with his body. After a heated discussion, the crew decide the creature must be in the air ducts. And Dallas enters the ducts, intending to force the monster into an airlock, but it ambushes it and kills him. Lambert, realizing that the alien intends to aggressively kill the crew one by one, implores the others to abandon ship and escape in its small shell, but Ripley, now in command, explains it will not support 4 people and insists on continuing with Dallas's plan of flushing out the alien. Accessing Mother, Ripley discovers Ash has been secretly ordered by the company to bring the alien back, with the crew considered expendable. She confronts Ash, who tries to choke her to death. Parker intervenes and clubs Ash, knocking his head loose and revealing him as an android. Ash's head is reactivated, and they learn where he was assigned to ensure the creature's survival. He expresses admiration for the creature's psychology, unhindered by conscience or morality, and taunts them about their chances of survival. Ripley cuts off his power, and as they leave, Parker incinerates him. Okay, now to the final act and ending. Proceed like always. 5 seconds to stop this video, go to the description box below, and fast forward to the time below to avoid ending spoilers. If you've seen the movie already, continue on after the 5 seconds. Here we go. Okay, you've been warned. The remaining crew decide to self-destruct the Nostromo and escape in the shell. However, Parker and Lambert are ambushed and killed by the creature while gathering life support supplies. Ripley initiates the self-destruct sequence, but finds the alien blocking her path to the shuttle. She retreats and attempts, unsuccessfully, to abort the self-destruct. With no further options, she makes her way to the shell and barely escapes as the Nostromo explodes. As Ripley prepares for stasis, she discovers that the alien is aboard, having wedged itself into a narrow space. She puts on a spacesuit and uses gas to flush the creature out. It approaches Ripley, but before it can attack, she opens an airlock door, almost blasting the creature into space. It manages to hang on by gripping the frame. Ripley shoots it with a grappling hook, but the gun catches as the airlock door closes, tethering the alien to the shuttle. It pulls itself into an engine exhaust, but Ripley fires the engines, blasting the creature away into the depths of space. In the end, after recording the final log entry, she places Jones, the cat of course, and herself into stasis for the trip back to Earth. End of story. So, what did I think of Alien? I'm going to say this is definitely a very good movie. I've seen it a few times. I more recently watched it a couple of months ago on Prime, with IMDb TV, but now of course it's on Prime, but maybe not for long though. Anyway, this was originally, wow, an intense release and what have you for the studio. Now, the critical reaction to the film was initially mixed, and what have you, but however, soon it did manage to get a little bit of credit and what have you. But anyway, this still falls up in the forms of other recent sci-fi flicks we've gotten, like 2001: A Space Odyssey, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and yes, even Star Wars, which came out a couple of years before this. And of course, the following year, its sequel, The Empire Strikes Back, would come out. Anyway, this was just so incredible. Again, it got nominated for many awards, some I've already mentioned. But anyway, the film the film still did pretty well, as the film went on to make 104 million worldwide. Well, 106 million. My bad, my mistake. But anyway, but in '92, Fox noted that the worldwide gross was now for 143 million now. Despite this, they had decided that even almost a year after its release, Alien had lost the seal 2 million. So however, they managed to fix things up, and they were eager to begin work on a sequel. But unfortunately, Brandywine Productions, who worked on this, they sued Fox over their profit distribution tactics. But Fox claimed that Alien was not a financial success and did not warrant a sequel. But the lawsuit was settled 3 years later, and Fox agreed to fund a sequel, which would be Aliens, which I'll be talking about this weekend. That's the reason why I decided to go ahead and review Alien in order to, to get that out of the way so I can review Aliens, since that's celebrating its 35th anniversary this weekend. Anyway, I really loved the cast performances. Of course, we had Sigourney Weaver as Ripley, Tom Skerritt as Dallas, Veronica Cartwright as Lambert, Harry Dean Stanton as Brett, John Hurt as Kane, Ian Holm as Ash, and Yaphet Kotto as Parker. Yes. So anyway, it's a pretty good cast. Anyway, it's also got a good story, great action, what have you. I consider this to be a pretty good sci-fi action flick, and with a good score from Jerry Goldsmith, one of my main favorite movie composers. I gotta say, it was good. So anyway, after this, Alien would go on to be a big franchise for Fox after Star Wars and The Omen, going on to put out 3 more sequels as well as a crossover with Predator in 2 films that came out in 2004 and 2007, and then they started a prequel series in 2012 with Prometheus, which unfortunately that's the only film in the Alien franchise I have yet to see, well, aside from the AVP Requiem in 2007, the second Alien vs. Predator movie, and the more recent Alien Covenant in 2017. So anyway, with a pretty good cast, some pretty good scary action and sci-fi elements, and a good score, would I recommend Alien? Hell yeah. This is a flick you need to check out. It's awesome. You can't go wrong with this movie. But however, I will give you my thoughts on Aliens, which I kind of like that a little bit more than this one after I rewatched that a couple months ago too. You'll find out why when I review it. Okay, so what are your thoughts on Alien? Please tell me in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And join me next time when I bring to you, well, an anniversary review. It won't be Aliens, because that's not until, well, later on. It'll be on another film that's got an anniversary coming up, and it's Arthur from 1981 with Dudley Moore. So thanks for watching, and if you like this, you may want to check out these other extraterrestrial type movies. In the upper left hand corner is my review of Independence Day that I reviewed not so long ago this month. The upper right hand corner is my review of the new Amazon Prime flick, The Tomorrow War, or if you want something that may not have aliens but has some good action, go to the bottom left hand corner for my review of the new Netflix action thriller Gunpowder Milkshake. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.